Hello, hello. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've done a stream. Yep, and the stream is caught up. Wow, I forgot to set the latency. Sir, nope. Well, I guess we're stuck on normal latency for now. Just means responses to questions are going to be super delayed. I meant to set it to high latency. Or, not high latency. Low latency. But no, we're stuck on normal. Dang it, that's unfortunate. Anyway. Hello! It's good to be back. I wasn't originally planning on streaming today, but I just kind of felt the desire to. Which, I guess that's okay. I also realize I'm not in full screen. There we go. You don't need to see the taskbar or everything. Placeholder's still here. He's been a good boy. To testing. Stream just went dark. Why did it go dark? Does it not read full screen? I don't think it reads full screen. Nope, it doesn't read full screen. Lol. Well then, I guess I'm not doing full screen today. Placeholder is still here. He's still a good boy. Placeholder has seen a lot these past couple of months. I can't remember the last time I streamed. It was definitely, I feel like it was in February, maybe? I released a video in March for my birthday, and then I haven't, like, been on YouTube at all ever since. I've just been locked in, focused. It's been a busy couple of weeks. But we're here today. In the mCreator testing world. Because I am ready to showcase probably one of the coolest things I've ever made outside of the elemental powers, which have also received a slight change, but nothing too crazy. I need to make the particles less obtrusive. I mean, I think they're fine, but like yeah, a little bit annoying. Just make an invisible particle for all of them. So that way the icon appears in the top corner. Yeah. The elemental powers haven't changed. So before me are 3 custom blocks. One of them doesn't look like it's custom. But we'll get to that in a moment. It's a placeholder for now. This is not a blast furnace. It's using the blast furnace texture as a placeholder. But the mechanical workbench is back. And we also have this nifty little thing, the mechanical anvil, or mechanical forge. That's a new block. I'll talk about that in a moment. I got a mob spawner hooked up back here. Can I go over that? And I'm also holding a wooden pickaxe. So, before we like really get into the meat of this, I just kind of want to remind everyone about what the previous mechanical upgrade system was. So, mechanical upgrades are a replacement for vanilla enchantments. They work alongside vanilla enchantments, but for this map as well as the previous map, Shiverburn, I had them in place as replacements for vanilla enchants because I didn't like how not streamlined enchantments actually are. So I decided to kind of make my own system then, which was okay. It had a lot of flaws. This time around, those flaws have been addressed and have been corrected permanently. And I'm super excited to share with you guys what all is in store. So I'm gonna set it tonight, and we're gonna get started. Why do I have a wooden pickaxe? Because it's a base weapon. And I'm not in survival mode. I'm gonna switch myself to adventure. I'm also playing in easy mode. So I've got 30 bucks right now. Oh, one dropped. Cool. So I'm just gonna kind of walk you through this process without really explaining what everything is and what everything does. My wooden pickaxe is about to break. I need to get more of these. I also have $90. That's pretty good. So yeah, a couple of changes have been made to how combat works. Specifically with enemies. So when you defeat an enemy, you will get cash. That cash is based off of the enemy's HP. Great, my wooden pickaxe broke. Gonna be doing this the hard way now. I can punch these guys to death. I did not get enough scrap metal. That sucks. Just give myself a new pickaxe. We'll be getting a better weapon before you know it. Oh no, I've taken a hit. There's another one. I need 4 of these. So yeah, we need 4 of these. Actually, I think I need 8 in total before I get a better weapon. What's with the 2 stacks of hearts? I played the 5th. I'm just kidding. I'll go over that later. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. I can't crit these guys, so it's like I feel kind of stuck. So yeah, this is a punching robot simulator. I don't have enough resources to make our first weapon, so I'm stuck using a wooden pickaxe. Okay, there's 3. I need 1 more. There's a 25% drop rate, and there it is. And I didn't get it. On the plus side, I've got $510. That is pretty cool. So this is scrap metal. This is replacing metal nuggets from Shiverburn. I'm gonna set time to day. So that way no more robots spawn in. So in the past with Shiverburn, you would defeat an enemy and it would guarantee give you a scrap or a metal nugget. You would then take those metal nuggets and craft them into metal ingots, which can then be used in the mechanical workbench to craft parts to upgrade to weapons. But here, I've kind of replaced metal nuggets with scrap metal. And you right-click this station with 4, and you get a metal ingot. I forgot to revoke some advancements. So I'm just gonna toss that up in the air, and there's recycler. I think I also need humble beginnings as well. Dang it, I can't really do that without showing. Slash give at piece scrap metal. There's humble beginnings. Alright, so going back into adventure mode. We got this metal ingot. We can't do anything with it except for craft metal rods. I can do that, and then I can craft them back. We need another metal ingot, which means we need 4 more. We need 4 more scrap metal. The drop rate on these guys is 25%, which I think is perfectly fine. Not for this demonstration. Oops, wrong item. Not gonna undo it. Give me a wooden pickaxe before I die. Oh gosh, there's a lot of these guys now. Hey, that's 3 already. We'll be getting a better sword in a moment. Once I get one more of these, I want to target you. Die already. Okay. Later I'm gonna be upping the mob spawns. I am taking a ton of damage. This pickaxe attack speed is atrocious. I reckon in the actual map, the wooden pickaxe will be unbreakable. Okay, so we got 4. I leap over here. I'm actually not going to set it today because I'm far enough away from the spawner that the mobs don't spawn. So now we've got 2. We turn 1 into a rod and then boom. We get our hands on a metal sword. This is stage 1. We are no longer dealing with Artibane when it comes to acquiring, like, craftable weapons. You will only ever be dealing with the metal. So there's no blocks that you need to break, there's no nothing. Everything that you need will come from mob drops. And the metal sword is the first of this. Where it's just a metal rod and then a metal ingot. And if you get 2 metal rods, or if you have 3 metal rods, you can craft them back into a metal ingot in case you want to reverse the craft, but I don't have a 3rd. So with each ingot, you can craft like up to 3 weapons before you have to go get some more. But we're not done yet because now we need more metal. And the only way to get more metal is to choppy. It's a fairly simple, streamlined process that's not very streamlined, it's just complicated. It'll be more streamlined because we now have the wooden sword, or the metal sword, which is unbreakable and has crit chance. The pickaxe does not. It's also worth noting that, yep, there's a crit. It's also worth noting that the metal sword has faster attack speed, which is great. So far, this is very simple, streamlined. I'm not getting into the juicy bits right now because not a lot of people are in streams fairly early. We'll get into the more juicy bits later into the stream. I'm just kind of walking through the process. I should up the spawn rates of these guys, but we'll see. I don't have very good sweeping damage, which I could fix. I'm gonna end up dying. Okay, we got 1. We need 2 more. I should make it so metal rods can be crafted into scrap. That might actually be really nice because I have an excess of rods and nothing to do with them. I can also enable the elemental power, so I'm pretty sure these don't do anything at this level. I need experience points. Okay, there's another one. I should up the drop rate of scrap metal. I am realizing. But hey, that's okay. What does earth give? I think earth, again, I think all these elemental powers just give. And there's first death, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, placeholder. Without a way to heal, then we are getting a ton of money. We are already at $1,000, and we're already at $1,000, and we still haven't even crafted our first mechanical weapon yet. So that's good that the entry curve is so high, because it means the player is for sure going to have a manageable amount of money to start off with. Because in the past, there was no restriction on what mechanical parts you could craft. It was all done through the crafting table. You just had to get a single metal ingot and then craft the part you want, and then you could go from there. The only real restrictions were the mechanical upgrades, which allowed you to craft advanced and elite parts. Oh boy. But I've removed advanced and elite parts. There's only one type of part, and that is basic. There's the metal we need. I've had to defeat a ton of robots. Alright, so we're gonna smelt this up. It takes 5 seconds, but that's okay. And now, I get to open up this thing. The mechanical workbench. Yes, the GUI is purple. That's no trick. I think I like the purple. I like the purple a lot. Beforehand, in Shiverburn, there were 8 mechanical parts that you could craft. I've added a few more. And I'm actually going to take my sweater off because I'm starting to sweat. One moment. Alright. Much better. Drink some water, make sure I'm hydrated. There we go. Each of these mechanical parts, in the previous map in Shiverburn, there were swords, pickaxes, axes, shovels, and all 4 armor pieces. Every single mechanical part was designed for a specific tool, so like the blade could only go on the sword or the axe, or the drill bit could go on the pickaxe and nothing else. Plating would go on the armor, etc. I've removed that. The only mechanical weapon that we have is the sword. There's no pickaxes, no shovels, no axes, no armor. Everything that you see here goes onto the sword. All of it. And there's 12 different parts. But that's not all. Each part is divided into one of 2 categories, primary and secondary, and I'll explain what they do in a moment. But let me just start. What do I want to start with? I want to start with the blade. And we get an achievement for it. Uses a mechanical workbench, or using a mechanical workbench, craft a mechanical part. Cool. Let me show you the advancements so far. Humble beginnings. Purify scrap metal into metal ingots with recycler, and then mechanical power. And then lastly, upgrades. Upgrades. Use a mechanical anvil, craft a mechanical weapon. I think this is called a mechanical forge. Yeah, it's called the forge. Wow, that's actually really nice. I've got 1200 even. So this is the mechanical forge. This is what it looks like. It's an anvil. We've got 2 separate slots and 2 separate buttons. Primary and secondary. And select primary upgrade, select secondary upgrade. And then this is the output slot. I need to add arrows, so that way you know the flow. But this is where you put your weapon. I will put my metal sword here. And my blade, which increases attack damage, here. It's run the check, so this is a valid recipe. That's why there's a check mark, and it will cost me $200 in order to upgrade. Let's do it. Blade Sword 1 increases attack damage. Upgrade is $200. That's what we paid. It has 3.5 attack damage as opposed to the 2, which was on the base. So now we have a little bit more damage. And when these guys spawn in, we're going to shred these guys a little bit easier. Are you following along? Does this make sense so far? So now I'm doing 3.5 damage, which means these guys are going down in 3 hits. We will need more scrap metal in order to upgrade further. So let's keep farming. Oh, perfect timing. It does 4.2 crit damage, which is really nice. Now the spawner just woke up and shows violence today, I guess. So we have a little bit higher damage weapon, and we're getting money back. The way that money works, by the way, it's the mob's HP, the max health, times a multiplier based off of your in-game difficulty. So right now I'm playing it in easy mode, so I'm making 3 times the mob's HP. The Scrapper Bot only has 10 health, and since the difficulty is easy mode, the in-game difficulty, mind you, is easy mode. So I'm getting 3 times the mob's HP. So if I kill a basic Scrapper Bot, that gives me $30. Still love the designs you made for the weapons. Yeah, I love all the designs. I'll show you a lot of these later. I'll show all of them. Well, I'll show most of them in this stream. But right now, I'm just going to focus on the blade for now. Just walking through this. So yeah, I make $30 for each of these guys. If the difficulty was normal, I'd only be making 20. As a matter of fact, let me just set that to show you guys. I only made $20 that time because the difficulty is set to normal. And if you're playing on hard mode, you only get the flat health. And I'll show you that as well. So we're not going to be making as much money from these enemies. So easy mode, there'll be a ton of money that you can get for defeating enemies. You'll be able to get rich pretty quickly. Be able to afford all of the different upgrades that you need for your weapon, etc. So we're now in hard mode. And when I defeat one of these guys, I only get $10, which is the mob's HP. Switching it back to easy mode because I'm a baby and I've got a lot of very expensive upgrades to share. So we'll take 4 more. We got 4 more scrap. Let's make another metal ingot. And now we can craft anything. I'm gonna craft another blade and I'm gonna show you tier 2. I don't have enough cash for this upgrade. It costs $2,000 for this upgrade. Now, you might be wondering, it's like, okay, Vandium, this is pretty cool. It's like, how are you supposed to know the prices of things before you go to craft them? If you shift-click a mechanical part, you can see the upgrade paths for that specific part. So the Blade Sword, which we currently have, is $200. And the Blade 2 sword, or the Blade Sword 2, costs $2,000. Additionally, the third one costs $3,000, $8,000, and then we get to the Legendary. So all of them, this is Basic, Advanced, Elite, Supreme, and Legendary. The Great Saw Blade, costing $20,000. Cash. These 5th tier weapons, these legendary weapons, are designed to be the most effective killing machines based off of the mechanic that their corresponding part allows. So in the case of the blade, where it's just straight up damage increase, you're looking at a 12 attack damage with a blade cast ability. I will show this thing off in the stream, but we'll have to work for it. This won't be easy. We're gonna need to go up against more and more difficult foes because making $30 for a single Scrapper Bot is not gonna cut it. We ain't saving 20k on basic Scrapper Bots. So we're at 1,500. We need 2,000. Which we should be able to make that fairly easily. Now you might be wondering what these 2 parts are and why they're down here. They say exactly the same as the top upgrade. And I'll explain what those are for in a moment. Because let me tell you, they're exciting. I mean, we're gonna get more scrap metal as well, so it's like this is gonna be alright. Yeah, I'm really excited to share this with y'all. This took 2 weeks. Keep in mind, keep in mind this is only one. This is only one mechanical part. There are 12 of them in total. Now granted, not all of them can be upgraded to legendary. And I'll kind of go over that in a moment. Hey, I got enough scrap metal for another scrap metal. Or for another metal ingot. Gimme. I should put your cash on your hotbar. That's what I should do. Instead of in the inventory. Alright, we need like 300 more. And we're gonna need a lot more cash, so instead of crafting a blade, I'm gonna go ahead and craft the clover, which grants extra cash from defeating an enemy. And it's tagged as secondary, and I'll explain that in a moment. But this is a mechanical part, just like your sword. I don't think I have enough money for this upgrade, though. Let me just check. Oh, I actually do have enough. It's cool. Let's just craft this now. Actually, never mind. Let's just clear out these guys. I think I actually have enough for... No, I don't. Alright, so this will be a worthy investment. So, mechanical parts. There are two categories, primary and secondary. The primary parts, if I just hold shift, can be upgraded to max tier or can be used as a secondary part. Upgrades up to tier 2. Secondary parts can only have 2 tiers and cannot be used as a primary part. You can craft a cross path. Any mechanical part of your choice can be upgraded either as primary or secondary, and the most a weapon can have is 2. This was a huge issue with the previous mechanical system where you could only craft 1 part onto a weapon, except for the blade, which you could stack it like 3 times. But now, I've made it so not only can you craft primary parts up to tier 5, which is beyond tier 3, which was the previous system, but now you can craft a second part of your choice as well. So I'm gonna do that. Upgrade that. And you can see it actually gains an enchantment, Cross Path Clover 1. And it gives me plus 0.1 salvage, which is the salvage mechanic, which allows you to get extra cash. It's 10% bonus, I think, off of the base mob. So this should give me either 31, I think this gives me $31, which isn't gonna be much. I couldn't actually tell how much that gave me. Yeah, it gave me $31. It's 10% of the mob's HP, not the total. Which is still pretty good. That'll still help our income by a decent amount. Plus 10% on base income is... It's not a lot now, but once enemies scale up to like hundreds of HP, you're gonna be making like $10 extra for each enemy, and that's gonna stack up fast. I hope. And that's also only tier 1. Once we get enough for enough scrap metal for another clover, I'm definitely going to be upgrading the cross path. So yeah, that's essentially what I've made. Any primary part can be... All of the primary parts can act as secondary, unless, like, if the part's tagged as secondary, it can only be used as secondary. So we got 1 scrap metal there. So yeah, now we have enough money. Where's my blade? I think I left it in the forge. Okay, so yeah, I have enough money for this. Although, I'm gonna salvage that. You can salvage any mechanical part and get the ingot back, so you can recraft it. I'm gonna do the clover second upgrade, $300. Clover 2. Now I should be making $32 from these guys. Yep. So that's plus 20% income off of the mob's base HP. So that's really nice. That will snowball in the long run. which is what we're here for. We are in it for the long run. Any questions so far? Or is this all making sense? I will go over each and every single mechanical part, what they do, trying to like give you a basic. I'm not going to show off every single 5th tier, but I will show off the blade, because the blade is arguably the coolest. It's also the first one I made, so I feel like it's appropriate for me to show that off. But we're going to get there eventually. We just have to save off 20k. Once we upgrade to advanced, I'm going to switch out the scrapper bots for the advanced ones, which will give us more income. Which will hopefully snowball our upgrades a little bit more. How much is... I need 2,000 for the next. I'm also tempted to up the spawners, because this isn't going very fast. Yeah, I'm going to double the spawners. Alright, so now we have double spawners, which means twice the amount of enemies at any given time. I'm a pro gamer who never dies, so I can handle it. There's a scrap metal there. And if I want them to deactivate, I can just walk away, leading the spawns over. So yeah, the extra $2 off of every single one of these guys is gonna snowball eventually. Why'd I come over here? Get me out of here. Long jump sometimes doesn't work. Okay, we got 4 more. I don't have any way of healing right now, so I'm just gonna die when another one of these guys hits me. So the clover is at 2, so I can't upgrade this any further. If I were to try, secondary path only supports up to tier 2 upgrades. So I cannot upgrade that beyond tier 2. So, and I also can't use anything else. So we'll just grab another blade. I think I have $2,000. Let's make that upgrade. 5 attack damage, 20% crit chance, 1.2 crit mult. That does a lot more damage. That does 5 damage, which means I can 2-shot these guys. Assuming they don't 1-shot me. I'm just gonna use the pickaxe. Just gonna break the pickaxe. Oh, I don't get the extra income that way. Dang it, I didn't think that through. I just lost out so much money. Alright. We got enough for another ingot, so let's go ahead and craft that up. Let's get the next blade. How much does this cost? 4,000. We are not getting there on this income. And that's for the tier 3, the 4,000. So I'm gonna go into this. Bestiary, advanced scrapper bots. These guys have double the HP and radiation. So let's do that. And they also move slightly faster. I'm making $64 from each of these. So, yeah. It's 20% of, I believe, 20 health, which is $4. So, that's really nice. Ow. I'm actually going to switch to the element of Earth, because Earth grants radiation immunity. So if this guy hits me, I don't get poisoned. I have the effect, but I'm immune to it. So we need to save up $4,000 using this weapon. Where are you going, buddy? You just up and run away. One of these days, I'm gonna make it so that way you can sell scrap metal. So if you have an excess of scrap metal and you don't need it, like when you have most of your weapon 5th tiers and you're slaying a whole bunch of enemies. If you need extra money, you can sell scrap metal, I reckon. But yeah, let's just buy another blade. How much money do I have? 1,300. That's not even close to what I need. I need 4K. Defender bots might work better, because I think they've got 12 HP at base. Oh boy, here comes the hordes. Here comes the hordes. I'm making $64 off of each of these, so this is gonna take a while. So yeah, we're just in here, dealing with some enemies. Alright, we can craft another metal ingot. There's no point, because... Well, actually, there is a point. I want a support weapon. Let's see. What do I want to craft? Actually, I need to craft a sword. That's what I need to craft. And then... Yeah, I'll craft a sword next, and then we'll deal with... We'll get another path going. Support weapon would be nice. I'm also gonna... There's a mechanic I want to implement where you can sell the weapons you have and get the money back, so that way you can cash in on investments. Yeah, these guys are definitely more beefy. The cash is definitely flying in a lot faster. I'm gonna let you pick. What part do you want to see next? Because there's a ton of them. I'll kind of let you take a look at the list. Oh gosh, I was not expecting that. I'm about to... I'm surprised he didn't kill me. Oh, and half a heart. Oh, there you go. Oh, I don't have Earth enabled. When you die, it resets all your effects. With that right placeholder. You're a good boy. Still not enough. Cool. That save up is definitely going to be very difficult. I might need to further increase the cash generation. But I don't know how many robots... I'm assuming that the player is going to be fighting a ton of robots. That's just my guess. Because combat is like... That's I think it's number 3. Alright, there's another metal ingot. Check those in there. And we got more scrapper bots. I'm also gonna switch... I'm gonna switch these guys out eventually. Alright, we got that. Alright, give me... I'll do one of the spawners as elite. That might be too much, because I know elite are absolutely brutal. How much money I got? I've got 4,000. I've got 2,000. Okay. I just need a little bit more money. And elite should get me there. I think elite have 50 HP, and they move really fast. So I am actually worried for this. I'm gonna need to upgrade my elemental powers. We got a first wave of elite. Yeah, they move really fast. They hit twice as hard, I think. I would like to focus these guys. Yeah, I get $160. $160. Wow. Yeah, they've got 50 HP. Yeah, different mechanical enemies. The different tiers have different models and different colors as well. So it's like the basic and advanced scrapper bots, they wield pickaxes. These guys, the elites, they wield spinning drills, as you can see. The advanced also have that tank on their back. I think the basic do as well. These guys don't have that tank. They're powered by sci-fi stuff, while the advanced are powered by nuclear. It's kind of the lore of it. $160. So the money is starting to snowball. That extra $10 is making a big difference. That's the clover. I have enough money for tier 3 now. And you notice it keeps its cross path. But now I'm broke, so... +7 attack damage. Yeah, I wish there was a way to upgrade Clover faster. I could get that support weapon. Not sure which one I want yet. Now I'm doing 7 damage. And 8.4 when I crit. So, the tier of the weapon kind of gets you a gauge on what kind of enemies the weapon's designed to handle. So, if you're going up against elite weapon or elite enemies and you got an elite weapon, you'll do fine, as long as you have basic Minecraft skills. And by basic, I mean not basic. Okay, let's get that support weapon. Which one do I want? Do I want coolant? Magnet would be useful. Burn chance. Attack knockback would be decent. I think I want coolant. Coolant's the most expensive though. Ooh, plating. Yeah, let's go plating. Grants the ability to block damage. And by block damage, I mean... grants a chance to block taking damage. I think the chance is 10%. So I've got a plate sword now. This thing is only got 3 attack damage, so this is not going to hold up well. Both these guys hit me while I'm holding it. It's only a 10% chance. It's not going to trigger, is it? Nope, it didn't trigger. Gosh dang it. Come on, why don't you guys hit me? I'm intentionally letting them hit me, so that way... There it is. It just blocked taking damage. And it did it again. Alright, I'm gonna switch to my higher damage weapon now. So if they're about to get hit... I think it'd be cool if I added, like, offhand functionality, so it's like you could craft a plate sword and then... Maybe I should do that. I know the tier 5 for the plates has that functionality. Let me just kind of show you what we're looking at here. I ran out of questions to ask, lol. Favorite Minecraft mob? I don't really have one. I like my own creations. The tier 5 has offhand functionality, but none of the other ones do. So this is the plate sword upgrades. 15% block chance at 2, 20%, 25%, and then this is 35% in your main hand and 40% in your offhand. The Crimson Eclipse. A sturdy support weapon that can buff your damage and defense at the same time. That's 18k, so it's cheaper than the blade, which is 20k. Which actually brings up a very interesting point. Not every 5th tier costs the same amount of money. Some 5th tiers are way cheaper than others. The most expensive 5th tier is the coolant 5th tier, which costs, I do believe, If I just smelt these, I can show you how much it costs. I do believe... So this is the coolant. 50K for the coolant 5th tier. And that's not including the other prices. The coolant is the most expensive part. Well, I think the molten core is the cheapest. Yeah, only 12K. I might go for this before I go for any more blade upgrades, actually, now that I think about it. So yeah, let's do that. Let's go for a fire sword. 500. Grants the chance to light enemies on fire. I think that chance is 25%. Or it's 20. Wow, it's really low. Not a single one of these guys has been lit on fire yet. Oh, there we go. There we go. It hurt me. All right, so what I'm gonna actually do is I'm gonna sell this. So I'm gonna look at the prices for the blade. I'm gonna look at the prices. So 200, so 2200, 6200 plus the cross paths of the clover. I'm not gonna bother. So cash, inject. What was it? 6200. Get my money back. 4,000, 2,600, yes, 62. Because I did not buy the 5th tier, and then if I grab myself a clover, I can check the prices on these. 150, 300, so 450. This is a mechanic that I do intend to implement. I just haven't implemented it yet. But the ability to sell your weapons, I might as well sell this as well for 400. Get my money back, and then I can clear that. I can also cook those up. So yeah, we'll invest in a fire sword. So I've got 85K right now. Let's go for... Ooh, actually, wait, no. I need to get that clover cross path back. I don't get the metal, unfortunately, but I do get my money back from salvaging. That needs to go as a secondary. All right, let's do this. If you had me pick a favorite Minecraft mob, I'd probably say... I mean, the creeper comes to mind, but they're rather annoying. I'm not really sure. I think maybe the Endermen, just because they're cool. Although they can be pretty annoying too. This weapon is not designed for elite. I'm gonna need to upgrade my elemental powers. Okay, he died. Yeah, and I'm dead too. $155. Okay. Alright, it's elemental power time. Bring out the elemental upgrades. I'm gonna give myself 5, and I know exactly where I'm putting them. I'm putting them into fire. What abilities do I want? I want heal for sure. And yeah, we'll just go fortify. Because this isn't an elemental power showcase. This is a Mechanical weapon showcase. So now I've got the element of fire, which that's going to help my damage a lot. Chance to light mobs. When you take damage. Oh gosh. The element of fire gives me, I think it's an extra 25% damage total. I'm gonna let these guys hit me. So when they hit me, I changed the element of fire and the element of water a little bit. So that way, when a mob hits you, it lights you on fire. Because I gave the fire aspect, the burn chance, to the mechanical part. This mechanic has been made into a counter ability. So there's a 20% chance they burn for 3 seconds. We get regeneration, which we don't have because it's dark out. We got abilities, extra damage, 1.25 extra damage to targets that are on fire. So that'll be really useful. It just gives you a little bit of extra damage. I'm not even sure if I've shown this menu off. I redid this whole thing, and I think it looks really nice. I don't want to get hit by those advanced guys. They burn. And by burn, I mean they're poisonous. I think Fire Fortify is broken. It's not giving me resistance. Feels working. Oh, there it is. There it went. It must have been like short use. I must not have noticed it. So that's 3. I need 1 more. I've got the money for sure for the next upgrade. I just need the parts. I need the metal. My bottleneck is the metal. Use heal while I'm at it. How cool is this fire sword, by the way? I really like how it turned out. It looks really cool. Even just the base tier looks cool. Can I get you on fire? Can I get you on fire? Yes, I can. For that extra 25% damage. Let's use Fortify. Let these guys hit me a bunch. I like the defensive option because now it encourages usage of abilities like Fortify. And I'm still on Fortify cooldown. Cool. These guys are driving me crazy. There's the scrap metal I need. Yeah. Get it to there. So it has the Clover Crosspath enchantment, which doesn't really do anything except for some like attribute modifiers. I need to heal, goodness me. All right. Do I want extra cash or do I want Bernie Burn? So what does this do? Greater chance. Goes from 20 to 30. Is that plus 30? So that's 50% chance. Do I want to do that or do I want to do the Clover for extra cash? I want to do this because I need more damage. All right. 1,500, which is cheaper than the blade, which was 2,000 or 4,000 actually. So the fire sword upgrade is cheaper than everything else. Yeah, we'll get this up to tier 3. I just need more scrap metal. I should make it so that way something allows you to get more scrap metal. Let's just use heal. Alright, both these guys are dead. Only 2. Cool. I didn't get any from that entire horde. Now I don't need to let them hit me as much because fire aspect is pretty good. I'm doing 5 damage with this thing while they're on fire. As opposed to 4 damage when they're not. Alright, so that's 3. Fire heal is still on cooldown. 7. It's level 7 that I get even more extra damage. I kind of need to go over here. I'm just gonna stand right on top of it, and just because they can't get me up here, right? They can't get me up here. Yeah, they can't get me up here. But that's no fun. Ah, I got hit immediately. Now, I don't think the fire aspect applies to sweeping, because I've yet to see a mob light on fire from a sweep. I get it in there. Alright, let's get Fire Sword 3. Alright, that allows me to get Fire Sword 3, which 2,500, easily afforded. I had 10k there. Enemies light on fire, burn for longer, and weapon can damage frozen enemies. That's another mechanic that I don't know when I'm going to be showcasing. But I nerfed the element of ice to where if an enemy is frozen, you cannot damage it unless you have a weapon that enables you to. And that's not every single weapon. I think only half of the weapons by default have the ability to damage frozen enemies somewhere in their upgrade table. But I know it's kind of loud. Let me repeat that. Frozen enemies cannot be damaged by normal weapons, but some mechanical parts in their upgrade path gain the ability to damage frozen enemies, the Fire Sword being one of them. I don't have any metal. I really need to increase the drop rate. 25% is too little, I think. I think I need to up it to 40 or 30 or something. 25 is too cheap, or is not enough. Well, there's that. And here comes the elites. Oh, they heal. Yeah, I got Fire Sword 3. We will save we'll save scrap metal for Clover. I would like to get Clover because tier 5 upgrades are gonna cost a fortune. And we're gonna need a lot of money. A lot of money, a lot of bad guys to drop. Probably gonna be switching the advance out for Supreme in a moment. Or maybe just Elite so we have full Elite uptime. Might even add another spawner. Yeah, let's do that. Let's add another spawner. And we will go just the basic. Just to get more enemies in here. So I have greater chance at getting scrap metal, because they've got less HP. And I'm dead, because I looked at chat. Well, I don't have fire enabled. Okay, there's 4. There's basics on the field. I two-shot these guys. They move really slow. But they do drop scrap metal. Quickly before this advanced guy kills me. Okay. Death 4. Die to chat. Alright, so now I'm getting more income. I think the clover should grant extra salvage. Or salvage should include extra drop chance. What do you think? Because I'm bottlenecked by scrap metal, not by money, which I thought I would be bottlenecked by money. We almost have enough for the 5th tier, but we don't even have the metal to obtain it, actually. So I think I should increase the drop rate from 25 to like 50 or something. Also, hordes are getting overrun. I'm getting overrun by hordes. I need some offensive abilities. Or I could change my investment. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna exit, quit, go into this, cash generation. I'm going to up this chance to, we'll do 30%. So 1 in every 3 will drop it. Nah, let's do 50. Let's go all the way up to 50. And then we'll run it again. 50% drop rate on scrap metal now. That should allow us to get the metal that we need a lot easier. Because I was able to save $1,000 before even getting the first metal ingot. That's a lot of money considering most tier 1 upgrades only cost about 500. So definitely, like, you'll have enough money for your first upgrade, but nothing much more. Alright, so we back in here with increased metal drop. I definitely see the perks of going some of the other mechanical parts as opposed to the fire sword. Fire sword's not bad. I just see the benefit of going some of the other parts. Okay, yeah, now we're getting scrap metal a lot more common. We already have enough for 1. And I am lagging a bit. That's not a good sign. Thanks to spawners. Already got enough for a second one. This station is like just perfectly out of range of that tower over there. Alright, do we already have Clover 2? We have Clover 2. Do we have... Where'd that go? Did anybody else see that? Hello? I just lost a molten core. That's concerning. Or I definitely should have 2. Okay. 5,000 for tier 4, and then we need 1,200, or we need 12,000 for the 5th tier. We will go fire sword first. So this has greater chance, and they burn for even longer. And then we have the extra cash. Pretty decent sword. Looks crazy too. But it's not as crazy as the 5th tier. And that's the perk about all the mechanical parts, your base damage... I'm not even sure if you can hear me. I need to turn mob sounds down. Your base damage... Music and sounds, hostile mobs. We'll turn those down to 50. Much better. The base damage is increases by 1 per tier. So you'll notice, so the base sword has 3, or the base sword has 2. The fire sword has 3, 4, 5, 6, and then that has 7. So it scales by 1 per upgrade, so that way you don't have to necessarily worry about like getting only blades. Now, blades scale a little bit more. It's by 0.5 extra. So that's 3.5, and then that would be 4, but it's actually 5 because these two halves add up. So these scale a little bit faster, or a little bit higher than the other 5th tiers. But that's okay. I cannot wait to show you guys this first 5th tier. Which, dare I bring out the Supreme enemies? Nah, we're not ready for Supreme. Those guys would absolutely mop the floor with me. I think I need to upgrade my elemental powers. Or just give myself another ability. That would also be nice. Yeah, I don't have enough money. Die. And then get out of the pit. Alright, I'm gonna do it. I'm going to replace which one's which. That's Supreme, that's Advanced. I'm gonna replace the basic with another Elite. Because we need more money. The enemies have now scaled up dramatically, which means I need to upgrade my elemental powers, I reckon. So I think I'll upgrade up to level 8 on fire, and we'll just stick with using fire. Man, I am getting overrun by hordes. The more mobs that spawn in, the harder it is to deal with them. So I think I need some abilities. In which case, the elemental powers. What ability do I want? I think I want explosion. That's gonna, nah, that'll be too much. Maybe, how much damage does this do? I don't know, I would like to know. Shot punt I know is bugged, because it always is. It does like 3 times the advertised damage. Yeah, we'll just go explosion. It's got a really long cooldown, but it'll be effective. Speaking of effective, never mind, we don't have anything. I am going to upgrade to level 8 on fire. Tier 3, plus 50% damage on fire enemies, and they burn for longer. If they hit you. Alright, let's do this. I'm gonna get all of these guys to spawn in. And then I'm gonna just have explosion ready to absolutely nuke. Come on. Can we get another spawn? I'm gonna absolutely obliterate these guys. There we go. Boom. It's not as flashy as I would like it to be, but it's still pretty cool. It just erases everything. I think it does 50 damage at tier 2. No, I'm at tier 3, so that does 100 damage. I'm in the pit. Why am I in the pit? I should not be in the pit. Get out of the pit. And I'm doing like 10 damage. Oh, we are so close. We're like 1,000 off. Not even. Okay, explosion is now finally coming off cooldown. So we have tier 3. Yeah, 100 damage, 8 blocks range. Explosion is finally off cooldown. Which means I can use it again. It's just absolutely erase the sword. And I do believe you get the money for defeating the enemies. We'll just use heal real quick. If we had sunlight, I'd be able to get like absorption hearts from fire. But I'm playing at night because the spawners don't work during the day. Well, just put the spawners in the shade, you might be wondering, but like, I don't want to. I've got my own reasons. All right, we have enough. We have enough. Explosion's still on cooldown. So I can't exactly... Let me just, like, lure all these guys away from the spawner. Man, these guys are so annoying. Alright. Are you ready to see this? We have enough... Well, for one, we've got enough metal and stuff. We've got 1,300, which this costs 1,200. Let's get our first 5th tier weapon. Behold, the Eternal Flame. A blade so hot that it burns anything it touches indefinitely. Gives all, and it comes with an ability. All 5th tiers come with an ability, by the way. Fire starter ability. Gives all enemies within your attack range a taste of flame. $12,000. And then it grants you an achievement. Check this thing out. This is a monster of a weapon. I'm gonna smack you with it, and I'm gonna smack you with it, and you two are going to die. Probably not before you kill me, though. But you guys are gonna burn indefinitely, and there is nothing you can do because you are stuck like that. This weapon is not actually that overpowered. This is, again, this is the cheapest 5th tier. Actually, it's not. Actually, it is. Technically, it is. Yoki loved the design. I wish it was animated. I tried really hard to make it animated. I had an animated texture, but for whatever reason, it wouldn't let me import it. So, not sure if it was a bug on MCreator's part, but I wanted an animated texture. But here we have it, the Eternal Flame, and this thing is savage. It's also worth noting that if I let this guy hit me a few times, you'll notice my health is regenerating. There's a lot of mobs, so let me just use the ability. That actually took out one of those guys. I think the ability does 10 damage at base, and then obviously it lights everything on fire. Yeah, I'm absolutely shredding these guys. So you'll notice while I'm holding it, I have passive regen. But if I don't hold it, the regeneration wears off. And the reason for that isn't because of the weapon itself. If I disable my elemental powers, I don't have that regen. This buffs the element of fire. which grants health regeneration while in a heated biome or under the sun. That also applies if you're holding the Eternal Flame. So if you're holding it, you get those perks. Same goes with abilities as well. So like, heal grants absorption if you're in a heated biome. So if I use heal, you can see I get that absorption. Well, if I were to use it, using it before without it, I don't. So this buffs the element of fire. So it's a fairly strong weapon with good support options. You get extra perks from your elemental powers. And the coolant does the same for the element of ice, in case you're wondering. But that's a more expensive fifth tier. So these guys are gonna burn indefinitely. And we can comfortably save up a decent amount of money. I'm gonna use the fire starter ability just because it goes on a short cooldown, so I can just absolutely spam this thing. And it does, I think it does 10 damage at base. And then obviously lights everything on fire, as I've said before. Yeah, let's just, oh, it missed you. That's not fair. That's not nice. You're supposed to be dead. So yeah, this is just one of the fifth tiers. Which one would you like to see next? We could go back to the blade, or we could try one of the other ones. I'm personally leaning towards the gear, actually, because we're dealing with hordes. So, which one would you like to see next? There's 8 in total. And this is one of 8. That actually didn't work. That one worked. Number 6. Alright, we can do that. What would number 6 be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Drill bit, right? Increases crit chance and grants the ability to damage frozen enemies. So yeah, that's pretty good. Requesting confirmation on drill bit. All right, so again, there's the latency issue. All right, I've got plenty of metal, so we can 100% craft a new sword. So we can smack this thing on. Well, first things first, let me show you what these guys are looking like. So the drill bit increases your crit chance. That's kind of its main mechanic. And then tier 3 gives you, turns it into a pickaxe. Tier 4 is very useful. Grants the ability to damage through shields, which I've just been fighting the basic scrapper bot. We don't have any shields, so I'll definitely switch out for defenders. And then the Earthquaker, which is the 5th tier. Which actually reminds me, if I just go into here and craft one of these, if you open this up after obtaining the 5th tier, the actual weapon shows. So I think that's really cool. Well, unless you've unlocked it, it just displays locked. 18k, that's not going to be easy, but we have a huge investment here of 12k. We could probably sell this and then afford the drill bit pretty easily. Definitely need more money though. And can damage frozen enemies. So you'll see the crit chance has gone up from 20 to 35%. If I just get some guys in here, we'll be dealing crit more often. The damage is absolutely atrocious, by the way. let's just give these guys a taste of flame. That cleaned out the advance. Yeah, that's a very effective weapon. There's even better ones. This is just the cheapest of the 5th tiers. There's even better ones. Alright, so let me craft... I need 4 of these. Let me craft these. Upgrades 1,000. 1,500. Oh, that's another thing. It can break cobblestone walls, stairs, slabs, and just the normal luck. That's a temporary placeholder list. There's gonna be I'll probably add a specific block. There'll be like in the actual map, there'll be secrets and stuff that will be hidden behind like breakable walls. Some abilities. The Eternal Flame gets rid of items, by the way. The ability burns them. But yeah, some abilities allow you to break blocks. I think Explosion is one of them. Spin and Ground Pound are the other two. So let's actually switch out one of these guys for... That's Blaster Tank. Defenders. Let's put Basic Defender. That guy. Place you with Basic Defender, because I want that to be visible. There's a Defender bot. He didn't stand much of a fighting chance. How much money do I need for the tier 4? Not enough. I need... Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know there was a decimal place. How do I get a decimal place? That's very odd. I've got change. Yeah, 0.4. I've never seen that before. I guess the defenders, because of the Clover crosspath, I guess the defenders, they've got 12 HP, so that results in a variable. Doesn't light everything on fire, it seems. There's scrap metal on the ground, I want that. And then we can light these guys up. Yeah, I could probably sell this and then afford. Yeah, let's do that. Let's actually run the numbers. So, how much? 12K. So that's 17K, 19.5, 21, and 150. 21, 150. And then I get rid of this, and then I'm gonna craft one of these just to view the price. 300, 150. No, I don't even need the extra money for the crosspath. We've got more than enough for this 5th tier. Alright, second 5th tier, the Earthquaker. A super heavy mining hammer that pulverizes both earth and enemies. And then it comes with the Earthcracker ability. Insta breaks all mineable blocks within a 5-block radius. Ability also damages all enemies within your attack range and launches all mobs vertically on use. Behold, the Earthquaker. This thing is a monster. It's also the largest model out of all of them. It has a super slow attack speed, but 100% crit chance. So let me just demonstrate on this guy. This thing hits like a truck. One shot's that guy. I am absolutely pulverizing these guys. They're not dying because they have a lot of HP. I also haven't used the ability yet. So yeah, this thing it's heavy, so it doesn't have very high attack speed. But it looks really cool. And it can damage through shields, which these guys aren't rendering with their shields. They normally do, but I think it has something to do with the spawner. They are shielded. Alright, let's bust out the ability. Oh! Insect kill. I think the ability does 50 damage, so this thing completely missed. That is so satisfying. Oh. Drop you guys. Send you guys space. Welcome to you guys and oh, he actually hit me. So. All right, I'm bringing in the Supreme Scrapper bots. Supreme. We've got a strong enough 5th tier to deal with Supreme. Bye-bye. All right, so we got the Supreme enemies in there. They guys are purple. And they hit like a truck. Bye. I want to combo one of these guys. There's a really cool combo that you can do with this weapon where you launch them into the air and then you crit them on your way down. I didn't get it there. Now, even though it's got like 100% crit chance, it doesn't actually do that much extra damage. Which, I could fix that with the battery. I'm not sure what's the most efficient crosspath for this either. I don't currently have any crosspath. So increase crit multiplier, let me go for the battery, which I might as well show you what this one does. So your crit multiplier goes up by a ton, and then we've got the ultimate glow stick as the 5th tier with its very, very fancy hyper focus ability. So that's 0.3, so 0.6 in total. Reminds you of the mace. I was like tempted to give this thing mace functionality where it's like, oh, it launches you into the air and then you can do mace things, but unfortunately that is beyond my technical know-how. So we're gonna apply the battery to the crosspath so we get more. Oh, I don't even have enough money. 18k for that upgrade. Yeah, 18k. Not enough cash. Okay. Which we have $0. Cool. That's interesting. So this does more crit damage now. 15 damage instead of 12. That's a very satisfying ability. I've got a ton of scrap metal now. $900. And how much for the tier 2? 18. Okay. That Earthcracker ability is really fun to use. Because everybody just goes, wee! It's really fun to use. If I had the element of Earth buffed, we could buff this thing even more. Oh, those guys weren't launched for some reason. I think it's within your attack range. You can also avoid getting launched yourself if you're just simply not on the ground. So if you jump before you use it, it doesn't launch you. See? Definitely have enough for it now. Alright, so extra crit damage. I want to use this thing with one more wave. Come on, buddy. 18 crit damage. That's really strong. Also, $300 cash from these guys. No wonder we're getting money so quickly. Yeah, the Earthquaker is really strong. Its weakness is the attack speed, which you can buff it with the thruster if you use the thruster, which increases your attack speed. So there's that. Alright, we got a big horde here. Just send everything to space. Again. And because fall damage is disabled, you don't have to worry about taking fall damage. For the map, you won't. Sweet. That's a lot of fun. So yeah, it's a really powerful mining hammer. Let's mega buff this thing with the Element of Earth, because the Element of Earth is really strong. So what's that, like 80% boulder buff, 8-second duration, plus sweeping. Boulder buff is 3x crit chance, 2 times crit multiplier. So this has 1.2 plus, so this has 1.8 crit multiplier, double that to 3.6, if I'm not mistaken. And then we can switch to the Element of Earth. I can also switch to fire to get my health back. Earth. 36 damage this thing is doing. On crit. I notice it launches me up slightly further. What I might do to make that combo easier is make it so enemies aren't launched up as high. So it's easier to get that combo, so that way you're falling before they're falling. Or you're falling... Or, I'm not even sure. Yeah, this thing hits like a truck. 100% crit chance. Yeah, 3.6. While boulder buff is active. Hey, I got boulder buff off that. That's really cool. So this thing deals with the damage. It dishes out the damage. It's just a matter of actually getting it. So there's one more 5th tier I definitely want to show you guys, and then I think we'll call it. And that, I can sell this. I'm just gonna sell it and give it, yeah, so how much money is that actually for the whole thing? 18k, so that's 18, 24, 25.5, 26.5, 26.9. Whoops. 26.9. And that gives me 32 to work with. So that's the drill bit. I want to show off the blade, which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The blade is really cool. It's arguably my favorite. Should have a money enough money for it. This is where we were last time. So there's the tier 4. We don't have enough for the tier 5, so we didn't get enough money, but that's okay. The 4th tier blade is more than enough to handle Supreme, I think. And then once we get that 5th tier, 21 damage. I think that was that? No, it wasn't more than the mining hammer. So selling a weapon is definitely going to be really a really nice mechanic, because selling allows you to take the money that you've already collected and reinvest it in a more stronger weapon. So that way you only have to make it a save up like once, so that way you can upgrade pretty easily. Also, I'm attacking like I'm using the hammer. I'm not. And I've got enough. Cool. Alright, 5th tier blade. Boom! The Great Saw Blade, an ultra-sharp blade that shreds through anything undefended. Blade cast ability, shoot 3 ultra-sharp blades that can tear through enemy. It's a $20,000 upgrade. This is, yeah, Master of the Blade. This is a sick-looking weapon. And I'm really happy how it turned out. Let me share with you guys its destructive power. This is uncross path, by the way, so I can buff its damage even more. How's it gonna heal? So it does 28 damage with the crit with the boulder buff. Here's where it's really cool stuff. It throws 3 blades forward on a very short cooldown, mind you. It's only a 3-second cooldown. Whee! Kind of throws them like crossbow. So this weapon gives you a projectile option. It gives you a projectile option, which is really nice. Because this thing can shred. Its weakness, its strength is its high base damage. It's got a high base damage. The blade shot time. Yeah. The blades have a high pierce too. They can pierce through 3 enemies each. So you can damage up to 9 different enemies with a single ability. So this thing is obviously really strong, damage-wise. It's got a fatal weakness, though. And that's the fact that it can't damage frozen enemies. None of the blade's upgrades allow you to damage frozen enemies, and that's intentional because I had to nerf this thing somehow. Because of its high base damage and razor sharp ability. The ability can damage frozen enemies, but not the normal attack. And I might as well show you what I'm talking about. So let's get a bunch of elite guys over here. If I come over here, he's not gonna freeze, is he? No, because I can't use abilities. Cool. Alright, let me just clean these guys out. So I didn't upgrade water, so I have no ability to freeze these guys. Or even use abilities, so... let's just give myself 5 of these, and 5 of these. Oh, hi, friend. Let's upgrade the element of ice. Now I can use water abilities. Get me out of here. Get me into the cold. So when these guys hit me, they can freeze. I cannot damage these guys, but the ability can. So it's kind of a very interesting trade-off. Oh, he actually froze to death, lol. So if he hits me, he's basically guaranteed to freeze. I think it's a 50% chance. But yeah, I cannot damage him while he's frozen. Not with this weapon, at least. The mining hammer can damage frozen enemies. If I give it the drill bit crosspath, I can damage frozen enemies, but can't otherwise. So we got $5,000. Let's see. What mechanical part? Block damage, sweep damage. I want sweep. Sweep is really good. Let me just kind of show you what the gear does. The gear has increased sweeping damage, which at tier 2, it's plus 25%. If you don't know what sweeping damage does, by default, when you swing a sword, surrounding enemies from your target receive 1 damage as like a sweep effect. You can up that 1 damage by giving it a percent multiplier, which takes your base attack damage and adds a percent. So my sweep on this would only do 1 damage unless I gave it this crosspath, which now it has the gear crosspath, and I can afford tier 2. So now 25% of my base damage, which is 12, so I think that's 4, will be applied to sweep. Oh, and I'm also using water, which I don't want to be using water. I want to use fire. So yeah, you can see 4 damage. It's registering 4 damage because of the sweep. That was the sweep there. Sweep is really strong, especially when you're dealing with hordes, which this particular weapon does kind of struggle with hordes. The ability is really the only thing it's got going for it when it comes to hordes. But yeah, that's the 5th tier. It's a pretty cool system. I'm really happy with how it turned out. And there's a lot of potential. I think I need to... Probably don't need to modify the prices. I need to implement the sell mechanic, that's for sure. Yeah, I need to up the sell mechanic, or implement the selling ability. It'll allow you to get your money back from a part. But yeah, there's a ton of different parts. I'm just gonna kind of like go through all of these and show off, not all the 5th tiers. So I've shown 3 of the 5 5th tiers: the Earthquaker, the Master of the Blade, and then, yeah, the Earthquaker, the Great Saw Blade, and then the Eternal Flame. I've shown those 3 off. I'm not going to show any more 5th tiers. There are 8 primary parts in the game. So if I just grab 1 of each. I need more scrap metal. So the blade, yeah, once you've bought the 5th tier, it becomes visible. We've got the battery, which the ultimate glow stick. It's more expensive than the blade. It's 2,300 as opposed to 2,000, 20 grand. The Eternal Flame is the cheapest 5th tier. The Coolant, which looks really cool. The Ferocious Frostbite. This is the most expensive. It costs 50k. I'm gonna read its description because it's awesome. A fierce beast that consumes your frozen foes. The Frostbite ability bites all enemies within your attack range. If any enemy is frozen, that enemy is insta-killed. That is a super strong ability because it doesn't matter how much HP the enemy has. It could be like the most buff supreme enemy. The Supreme Blaster Tank is currently the highest enemy in the game with 250 HP. Doesn't matter. If it's frozen, use that ability, it's dead in an instant. It doesn't work on bosses though, so there is that caveat. But yeah, plus this just freezes enemies and gives them slowness and weakness, which the coolant is by far the most expensive of the upgrade paths. The base price costing 2,000, while most of them cost less than 200. And then you got the 4,000, 8,000. This one, the price downscales because it just freezes the enemies for longer. Yeah, tier 3 is where you start freezing enemies. And of course you can damage the frozen enemies as well. This one, I would love to show this one off, but I'm gonna save that for the actual map. The gear, which gives you sweeping. The Horde Shredder, which is a chainsaw with an auto damage ability. I've already seen the Earthquaker. Which brings to plating with extra damage, block chance. We've already kind of gone over that. With the Crimson Eclipse, a sturdy support weapon that can buff your damage and defense at the same time. This one has higher attack damage than most 5th tiers, so it's a pretty decent weapon. It's also a support weapon. If you go for this one, selling it isn't exactly your best bet. You want to have this alongside a strong 5th tier because of that +5 damage that this thing gives in your offhand. And then we've got the Magnet, which I did not show off. The Magnet, which grants stun chance on mechanical enemies, which is like 99% of the bestiary, and actually 100% of the bestiary at this point in time. But yeah, it grants stuns, and also the tier 3 acts as a item magnet. So if you got this in your hand, you can just auto pick up items, which is really nice. And then it's 5th tier, Magnetron Prime, an electric-powered magnetic trident that stops all mechanical foes in their tracks with its very strong EMP ability, which perma-stuns all mechanical foes within 5 blocks. It's really cheap for what it does. The reason it's so cheap is because, yeah, it perma-stuns, but it doesn't actually take out your enemies. It just stuns them. So yeah, the Magnet's a pretty strong weapon. And I think that's all of them. The Clover we've used for today, which that gives you whatchamacallit, extra cash. The Thruster increases attack speed, Spring gives you knockback, and then the Cylinder gives you attack range. I think this one's the most expensive secondary. Yeah, 1,000 and then 3,000. Which, yeah, there are 4 secondary parts. These 4 cannot be used as primary, but they can be used as secondary. Every part can be used as secondary, so it doesn't matter what you got. And once you've applied a secondary, you can't change it. So it is what it is. But this system, this mechanical upgrades, really complements the elemental powers, which are already in the game that I have, which I have showcased in other videos, with all the intricate abilities and stuff, and there's a lot of really cool things in this. This mod is coming along really nicely, and I'm really happy with how it's turned out so far. I'm gonna just go and break 2 of those and it's time today. I'm really happy with how this system has turned out so far, because it's really cool. I'm not gonna show you this tab because that actually does have some of the other elements. Also, I brought the QP back. Dev QP'd themselves. So, the QP is back from Shiverburn. It's got a different texture. Actually, it looks like Dragon's Breath now that I realize it. Need to fix that. I've got this, the Pocket Teleporter, which, on use, just auto-returns you to spawn. This is a placeholder. This is a block this is the obelisk. This is gonna be level select. So, in Shiverburn, I had these like little stands with a pressure plate and a book. and you can read. But now, we'll do level 3. And then exit, and then, yeah, I've got this system now. With the difficulty, and it's really cool. And it starts level. Which actually just places a redstone block underneath it. There'll be a command block under there. So this will be level select. You'll go into World Hub, or World Spawn, you'll find these obelisks just sitting around, and you can interact with them. They'll have their level title, their difficulty, and then a little description, and then you can just go ahead and start it, which will power the command block, teleporting you elsewhere. You got all that? And then, yeah, so far we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 enemy types and a boss. I'm not going to show the boss because that's for another day. And I got all these like really cool blocks as well. The launch pads, burners, locked launch pads with keys. I'm not going to do anything with coins because I've replaced coins with enemy defeating system. These two are really cool. These fans, they blow you up. And it's a lot of fun. And then I've got these blocks, these clouds. They break when you jump on them. Unless you have the element of wind enabled, which I think is really cool. I've also got these dynamite and these dynamite barrels, which give you dynamite, which you can just throw. It's really cool. These are just some miscellaneous things. We got some targets that also drop money and scrap metal lol. Probably not gonna do anything with those. Toggle blocks are back. And I even implemented a handheld variant. So these work exactly the same as they did in Shiverburn. I just have them in different colors. And then there's also a handheld version, which is really cool. They're a little bit more responsive and a lot more optimal. And I got these fun things. These conveyor belts. They push the player along. You can out-sprint them, but not the fast variant. So yeah, these come at 2 different speeds. And of course you can do this. Make yourself dizzy. And then the throwing plate, it's a projectile. It's used in the boss fight. I definitely shouldn't have tabbed over there. A whole bunch of decorative blocks. So yeah, that's mechanical upgrades and then a couple of other miscellaneous stuff that I've been working on. This project is coming along quite nicely. I would say I'm about 80% done with the mod. There's one more system that I want to implement. I want to implement the recycling ability in order to get your weapons back. After you've crafted them to re-get the money. Selling functionality. I want to implement selling. And then there's another system that I want to implement that is going to greatly buff the player to an extreme, probably overkill degree. But it's going to be fun. And it'll have to do with the elemental powers. And it's not actually here because I don't have it enabled. Because I haven't made it yet. I haven't started it. But it'll buff the elemental powers in such an insanely awesome way. And I cannot wait to work on that. I'm probably going to end up working on that next. Yeah. And then once the mod is finished, I hit export. I'm not going to publish the mod until the map is ready. Which The map is just getting started. I had a pretty good start on a map, and then I decided recently to change my entire project again. Which is why this system was put into place because of the change, and why this second additional system, this mystery system, is going to be put into place as well. So, yeah, the project has taken some drastic turns. I'm not going to say much, but I think this will be like the final change that I make to the overall plan. Yeah, I gotta start building up the map. It'll be fun. Thank you, Danny, for joining me today. It was a lot of fun. I hope for anybody else watching this who's like kind of seen the system, kind of got an idea on how this all works. I hope you're really excited. Again, this took 2 weeks, 6 hours a day straight. And 6 hours a day is average, by the way. Some days were 8 hours, some days were 4 hours. But yeah, 14 days of 6 hours a day really takes it out of you. So I'm probably gonna be taking a break working on the project. Figured I'd stream Showcase because this is a really cool system, and I want some feedback. Any and all feedback. Obviously, like, the stream's over at this point. But anybody who's watching the stream later, like not live, feedback would be much appreciated, because this is a complicated system, and that's not my normal Minecraft skin. This is a complicated system, a lot of potential that it has. I'll kind of just hover over what each of these do. Yeah, that's another thing. The blade does actually have attack damage. I should up that to 1.5, because that's what it actually gives. But anyway, each of these things have their own unique functionality, their own different prices. And yeah, I don't think it's too confusing. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Actually, it's not very self-explanatory. I do need to explain a lot, especially here. I need arrows. I need arrows. But yeah, it's a cool system. There are achievements for all 8 5th tiers. There's one that goes here that's missing. So yeah, it'll be fun to collect them all. And who knows, maybe in the future, I make it so that way you can merge elemental parts in order to create paragons of some sort. I don't know, it's just an idea that's been floating around since I created the system, and maybe in the future I make it so you can craft paragon weapons, which would be absolutely insane. But that's another day. Speaking of, I will see you guys another day. It's been a lot of fun. And yeah, I'll see you guys in another stream. Catch you later.